What is up, Sooner Nation? I am Casey Mallon, and you are now, come on, get with me, people, in a Sooner state of mind. Make sure you like and subscribe on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Bet Online is your number one source for the NBA and NHL playoffs this season. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds while the games are being played. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, the game starts here. On today's show, with the 2024 season right around the corner, we prepare for the ever-changing college football landscape with some TV talk. We got games, people. We got schedules. We check back in with a huge get for the Sooners via the transfer portal. More defense. Take a deep dive into the quarterback depth chart for the Sooners and little quick hit with softball and baseball. Sooner state of mind family, how are we doing? School year is winding down. It's almost over. Time to crank up some Alice Cooper and live our best summertime life. You know, I used to love summer. Now it's just the last thing to get through until football season. Luckily, though, this summer is packed with distractions until we get to August. There's still a couple of weeks left in the UFL, NBA, and NHL finals, a little softball World Series, a little college baseball World Series coming up, Copa America, the Olympics, but all of that is just a way to exist until football season. And this thing is going to sneak up on us just 100 days from today. We will be watching college football. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? But for now, we wait. Speaking of waiting, the wait is almost over. The Sooners are just a month away, a little bit more, from their long-awaited move to the SEC. Now, the announcement of that move on June 30th, 2021 was really one of the first dominoes to fall in what has become a much different looking college football landscape. College football, it's on crazy pills, and I am here for it. Conference realignment, 12-team playoff. They're already talking about the 14-team playoff. It's going to be pretty good. College football, taking a cue from the NFL. On Wednesday, it was announced that TNT Sports will be adding college football playoff games as part of a 5-year sub-licensing agreement with ESPN. TNT Sports and HBO Max will show 2 first-round playoff games over the first 2 years of the contract, and in the ensuing 3 years, it will broadcast and stream 2 first-round games and 2 quarterfinal games. All this with the potential to add more games. And as of now, ESPN will do the rest of the heavy lifting. Not too bad. Even more ESPN news. On Thursday, May 30th, ESPN will reveal the first 3 weeks of the 2024 college football schedule, including all the special date games. And then, but wait, there's more. And then on Thursday, June 6th, the bowl season schedule will be revealed. There's talking about having some of these playoff games on a Thursday, Friday, a Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Sunday, a Monday, Tuesday. They're going to pepper these things throughout the weeks, and it is going to be awesome. Now, while more football is good news in my house, my wife has become increasingly annoyed at bowl week. Well, now that it's technically a month. I mean, I know she's not listening, but I can tell you guys she's going to dislike bowl week even more now that the college playoff games will go throughout the month of January. Sprinkle in some NFL Saturday games, including a triple header on her birthday, a couple games on Christmas, some midweek games. Between college and the NFL, they've completely usurped the entire holiday season. But hey, if Christmas can hijack October before Halloween even gets here as part of the Christmas rush, then football can take over the holiday season. No bah humbug here. They don't call it the most wonderful time of the season for nothing. Football going into full domination mode. All right, for now, let's get back to the right now. The last time we met, the Sooners got some very unexpected news in the form of Gavin Freeman announcing he was entering the transfer portal. The fan favorite didn't need much time to identify a landing spot. Freeman kept it in state and in the fall will play for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. But to be honest, with the Sooners leaving the Big 12 and the cry pokes behind and the tremendous depth that the Sooners have at the wide receiver position, this transfer didn't even sting. I like Freeman. I'm stoked for him. Thought he'd be able to carve out a bigger role with Drake Stoops moving on to the NFL. But with the arrival of Deion Burks, that bigger role went up in smoke. I do hope Freeman is able to get on the field more and can get the opportunity he was looking for. He seems like a good dude. And I will be genuinely happy for his success moving forward unless we see those busters in the playoffs. Playoffs? You know, sometimes the transfer portal giveth and sometimes it taketh away. And in some other Sooner transfer portal news, the portal giveth and then taketh away. The Sooners scored some additional defensive beef when they acquired former Louisville and ASU defensive tackle Jermaine Lowell via the portal, which seemed like a good score at the time. That was until the Sooners scored one of the top defensive tackles in all of the land. We're talking Damonic Williams, baby. Come on. The former Horned Frog had many teams hoping to land his services, but BV and Coach Bates worked some of that Sooner magic and scored the huge commit. Not only magic, but it's culture. It's the culture that BV is building that is really starting to resonate not only with the players, but with their families and everybody looking to make that move into college football. Williams said, "Where do I start this entire process? It's been a whirlwind. Sooner Nation, I want you to know at the end of the day, I chose you because of relationships with Coach V and Coach Bates and the staff. They were genuine, and I believe in their ability to develop me as a man and a player and prepare me for the next level. I can't wait to get to work with my teammates. You will get my best version and my best effort. I am blue collar, and I love to compete at the highest level. God bless, and Boomer Sooner." It's all right there. Dude could have said, "Oh, I'm stoked for the opportunity. This is a good fit, blah, blah, blah." But he went out of his way to talk about what Coach V and Coach Bates are laying down. It is the culture. He's building something special here. These guys care about the players more than just as players. They are invested in turning these young men into grown men, giving them life skills. We've seen the Soul Mission. We've seen the families talk about this. You couldn't have your university, your football program in better hands than you have right now. I absolutely love what is going on. I love the type of player that it is getting because of that. And I think we are going to see some major results on the field. Williams, he also had offers from LSU, Missouri, and Texas. Oh, poor Shorthorn, sad face can cry. But it's not all tears for Tex ass, two S's. With the Sooners scoring that big time commit from Williams, It was enough to make Lowell rethink his commitment to the Sooners. Lowell will now be headed south to wear that ugly-ass burnt orange and will suit up for Texas this upcoming fall. Which is a bit of an LOL, as Lowell just a few days earlier was shown throwing up the horns down. So that is the real LOL in this situation. And once the Sooners did secure the commitment from Williams, Lowell would have been reduced to a role player. And no ill will towards the young fella, but I will not mind if he and the Horns with the W struggle all season. That will be even more lulls. I'm always talking about BV and the culture. Well, speaking of that culture he is creating, he's also creating a roster full of depth and competition at every position. We're starting to see it in all the different groups. Cats are fighting to get on the field. There's major players coming. There's major players there. It's about to get competitive. Lots of depth everywhere, but one position that depth brings the most relief to is quarterback. When Tebow slept away like a swarmy little weasel in the darkness of night, leaving the Sooners without both of their former five-star quarterbacks, it was a major concern and an area of need for BV Sooners. Luckily, the Sooners were able to land Dylan Gabriel, and dude balled out for us. We thank him for his service. He was tremendous here, and I will be rooting for him every game that the Ducks play unless they do battle against our Sooners. And he had nothing to do with the terrible onside kick call a few years ago. We can't put DG on the stake for that. We got to give this dude some cred. Remember that game-winning drive against those Shorthorns last year? It's called equity, people. DG's got equity. But behind DG, there wasn't much as depth for the quarterback position. That was until last year when the Sooners landed the crown jewel of incoming quarterbacks with Jackson Arnold, or as he's known in Sooner Nation as JFA. Arnold comes into his second season with the Sooners. They planned to redshirt the sophomore signal caller last year, but that was until DG got knocked out of the BYU game, forcing the Sooners to burn that red shirt. And then weeks later, Arnold got his first start for the Sooners in the Alamo Bowl versus those Arizona Wildcats. A lot of good, some bad. We saw the tools, we saw the skill, and that experience, the highs and lows of that game and getting the start and getting to go through it. That will play massive dividends this year, as it's been clear since before the bowl game last year that Arnold is lined up to be the day one starter, unquestioned. And he's been chopping at the bit. What is it? Chomping, champing, chomping, chomp, chomp, chewy, chomp. Either way, he's ready to start the season. Actually, since he got on campus, dude, it's like, give me the rock. He knew he had to buy his time, but he wanted it. He's got all the tools you could ask for in a quarterback. He's been working closely with new co-OC Seth Luttrell, and the Sooners in the upcoming season will go as far as Arnold's play can take them. It's going to be some hostile road environments, going to be some big-time games, some huge competition. We'll see if JFA is up for it in his first year getting the full start. Competition's stepping up, and he's ready for the challenge. Expectations are sky high for this dude and this team, and that's a good thing. Another good thing is the depth at the position behind Arnold. Even with the departure of the best name in college football, General Axel Booty, who is no longer with the Sooners, Booty will look to snag the starting gig for the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks. Always rooting for Booty. Big fan of Booty. Hopefully he can get the PT he wanted there. But even without Booty, the Sooners are in great shape. There is a ton of excitement surrounding Quarterback Michael Hawkins Jr., another legacy. The 6'1", 198-pound freshman quarterback is crazy athletic and showed off a pretty good skill set in the spring game, and also looks to have tremendous upside at the position. The 4-star prospect was ranked the third best dual threat quarterback in the nation. And as a senior in high school, Hawkins totaled 4,211 all-purpose yards and 55 touchdowns with only 3 interceptions in 15 games. He was named District 3-5A Division II Most Valuable Player. Dude looks to be a stud. He's going to be battling back there. Would love to get that backup gig, but there's some couple names he has to pass, maybe one. We'll see. A lot of ball to be played. How hard is this guy working in the offseason? I think he's going to be working his tail off. Another freshman quarterback waiting in the wings. Brendan Zerberg. Hooray! The 3-star quarterback was ranked as the number 17 dual threat quarterback prospect in Ohio. Zerberg finished his high school career with school records for total yards, over 6,300, total touchdowns, completions, and completion percentage. He also rushed for over 2,000 yards and 25 touchdowns. With the 2 Utes backing up JFA, there was definitely some room in the quarterback room for a seasoned vet. And the Sooners got just that in red shirt senior Casey Thompson. Great name. Just saying. The Oklahoma City native is making his 4th stop on his college tour. Thompson spent his first 4 years with the Hated Ones, including 2021, when Thompson was on the wrong side of that 28-7 epic, and I mean epic, collapse by Texas. Even though Thompson threw for almost 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, Thompson and the Shorthorns would go on to lose 55-48 in one of the most brutal losses in Texas history. That same season, Thompson was named to the Davy O'Brien Award class of 2021. He played in all 12 games and made 10 starts, completed 63% of his passes for over 2,100 yards, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Also rushed for 150 yards and 4 touchdowns. Led the Big 12 in passing TDs and was 4th in passing efficiency, and passed for at least 300 yards 3 times with multiple touchdowns 5 times. CT spent a year at Nebraska, and then last year played 3 games for the Florida Atlantic Owls before missing the rest of the season with injury. He adds tremendous experience and leadership to the quarterback room and will be a great mentor to not only Arnold, but the entire room. Nice mix. Got a grizzled vet, and you got a bunch of youth. It's perfect. Thompson, also a legacy. Room looks stocked, but there's always room. The Sooners also have a 2025 verbal commitment from 4-star quarterback Kevin Speary. Spear is the 11th ranked pro-style quarterback in the 2025 class and is making moves to climb up the ranks to break in to the top 10. Speaking of that 2025 recruiting class, BV and company continue to dominate at this point. The OU 2025 recruiting class is ranked number 1 in the SEC. Not bad, right? Not bad. The Sooners added 2 more commits in May. 4-star cornerback Tristan Hayes selected the Sooners over offers from Miami, Texas A&M, and Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Venables and Co. have been putting an emphasis on keeping in-state talent in-state, and it's been paying off. It is paying dividends, people. And even though it is very slow on the football front, there is still championship fever running amok in Oklahoma. You know who I'm talking about, people. Patty Gasso and our Oklahoma Sooners are one step closer to a fourth straight national championship. And if these Sooners needed a bit of motivation, I think they got it. For the first time since 2018, OU did not get the top seed in the NCAA softball tournament. You know who got that. Yeah, the Horns. The Sooners are the second seed, and I think Gasso loves it. Put a chip on their shoulder. No cakewalk this year. Last year was a magical season. They were just so dominant. Things haven't been as easy this year, but these girls are rounding into form. We're down to 16 teams. The Super Regionals will feature 7 teams from the SEC, 4 from the Big 12, 3 from the Pac-12, 2 from the ACC. Our Sooners are set to host the NCAA Norman Super Regional this weekend. They will be hosting those dirty Florida State Seminoles in the first Super Regional at the newly opened Loves Field. This series is a rematch of the 2023 and 2021 World Series, the championship. That's a gnarly first rounder, man. That is crazy talk. That action begins Thursday, May 23rd at 6 p.m. Central Time. Game 2 set up for 7 p.m. Central Time on Friday. And Game 3, if needed, hopefully the Sooners handle their business and don't need that game, will be TBD. TBD to TCOB on the other diamond. The OU baseball team has been kicking ass all year and just opened the Big 12 tourney with a 4-0 complete game shutout thrown by Braden Davis against TCU. Davis went the full 9, giving up 4 hits, no walks, and 9 Ks. That is what I am talking about, baby. It was back-to-back jacks in the 6th from Anthony McKenzie and Junior Jackson Nicholas. Up next for the Sooners will be the Kansas Jayhawks. Hopefully these guys can keep it going and build some big mo and shine on the College World Series stage too. It was sweet just a couple years ago. Both teams were in the finals. And just remember, every Sooner victory on the diamond gets us one day closer to football. LFG, people, come on. Speaking of LFG, did any of you guys catch the Tom Brady roast on Netflix? Some big time laughs, some gut busting laughs on there. Some ballsy comedians going out there on live television and doing some serious comedy. Willing to put it on the line. It was pretty good. If you get a chance, go take a look at that. Oh, and while you're out there looking at things, if you're checking stuff out, you're surfing the web, doing whatever you do, or maybe just using your ears, make sure you like and subscribe to Sooner State of Mind. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Music. It's everywhere, people. And when you subscribe, you do not miss any of the good stuff. Also, head on over to Believe.com. That's BLEAV.com. Go to shows. Don't write me a strongly worded email. Type in Sooner State of Mind, and you are locked, people. OTAs, training camp, football, everything. There is so much content. Every team, every topic, everywhere. Believe.com. If you're not there now, you're missing a ton of great stuff, no matter who your favorite team is. We got it all, people. And if you want to watch Sooner State of Mind, head on over to YouTube and search the Football Dudes. We are there. Are you following the Football Dudes on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it? If you're not, you are missing out. Follow the dudes. Facebook, Instagram, the Twitters, YouTube. Come on, people. It's a lot of great content. And today I'm offering all of it to you for free. Now, that offer for free might extend past today, but just pretend that it doesn't and get out there right now. Sooner State of Mind is brought to you by Bet Online. It's lots of action, lots of things to happen, lots of bets to be placed out there. We got NHL and NBA. We're down to the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals. Great action, people. You know what makes it sweeter? Putting a little juice on it. You got that right. My name is Casey Mallon, and I am in a Sooner state of mind.